to my kitchen. This is going to be the first time in several months that I am doing a cooking video. I don't know when I'll do another one, but I'm going to try to put one out at least once a month. At least once a month, that's what I'm going to put on there for right now. Today's a good day. I'm not having a lot of joint pain and a lot of hand problems and foot problems. So I thought, why not get on here and do a little cooking video? But I think what we're going to do is I'm going to turn it down because there's fans going. There's people all over the house. And I'm going to be making a dinner tonight. And I'm just going to let you guys watch me cook it. And I'm going to do a voiceover. And so we're going to do that tonight. So I'm going to move right into it. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to move into this thing quickly. I'm going to get a pan out, and I'm going to open up a can of peas, sweet peas. You guys call them sweet peas, but in West Tennessee, we call those English peas. And I was telling my husband how we call those English peas in West Tennessee because that's where I was born and raised. And one day we was in the store, and I showed him. Sweet peas is labeled English peas in West Tennessee. It's the most amazing thing. Anyway, I'm going to pour these babies up in a pan. And off camera, you'll see me season them a little bit. And put just a tiny little bit of butter in them. And put them on the back of the stove on a low heat. And just kind of let them simmer along. And so that's the first dish that I'm doing tonight. We're going to get complicated here in a minute. Y'all just hang on. Oh, hey, wait a minute now. I got some Miss Dash. See, I thought I did it off camera. That's how crazy I am. I can't remember what I do from one day to the next, but I tell you what, using that Mrs. Dash is really working. I've gone down to 1 blood pressure medicine. Ain't that amazing? Alrighty. I'll be back in a minute to do some more commentary. Okay, so what we got here is we've got a couple of potatoes, in case y'all didn't know what potatoes was. And I'm going to peel these things. And so what I usually do when I'm making instant potatoes, and I've showed you guys this before, is I'll cut up a couple of potatoes and I'll kind of chop them. And I usually put them on the stove with a little milk, a little water, a little butter, and all the seasons that I'm going to make in there. And when I make those instant potatoes, I make them in a water that's really starchy and it's got those potatoes in there. And so it just makes it taste more homemade. But you don't have to stand there and peel 20 potatoes to feed 5 people. You can take 2 potatoes and you can feed 5 people with 2 potatoes and just a little bit of instant potatoes. And I'm going to save those peelings for my baby chickens because they sure going to love them. They sure going to love them. We're going to give these potatoes a good rinse. We're going to clean them up. Yeah, we are going to do that real good. And then we're going to take them over here. And we're going to pop them in the pan. I'm going to act like I really done did something. Look. Look at there. I done put 2 potatoes in the pan. Dinner is served. I think Grandpa Harold might have a little bit of complaining to do if he thinks that I'm just going to serve 2 raw potatoes. So, anyway. Okay, so what we're doing here now is we're cutting up these potatoes into small pieces so that it doesn't take long for them to cook. And I'm telling you, this is a way to feed a large amount of people with a little bit of food. You learn how to do things on a budget whenever money's tight. And at one point in time, I had 3 kids at home, and one of them was a boy that could eat you out of house and home. The girls wasn't eating lightly either, and a big old man. And I ain't no little woman, so I had to learn how to do things on a tight budget because for the first 4 years of me and Harold's marriage, well, the first year I worked, but the second year I had Megan, and so for the next 4 years I was at home and we lived on one income with no help from the government, no help from nothing. We did it on our own. I say we did it on our own, but the Lord sure did multiply and bless everything. He was the one that blessed us. Now I'm going to put them boogers on the stove and they're just going to cook over a low heat until them potatoes are fork tender. Alright, I'll be back cooking something again in a minute. Be right back. Okay, so I'm going to be frying up some delicious boneless, skinless chicken breast, and what I'm doing is I'm setting me up a dredge station. So the first one it's going to have a tiny bit of flour, some milk, and about 3 eggs. And I'm going to add some seasoning to that, some salt, some pepper, some Mrs. Dash, a little bit of seasoning salt in that. And I'm going to get these babies ready to fry. And I believe I'm going to get a third plate, and I'm going to have me some panko crumbs, if I'm saying that correctly. You know, those delicious Japanese breadcrumbs that they have that make such a delicious coating on things. And I think that's where I'm headed off to. Anyway, I was wrong again. I was getting my chicken from the sink. I had went over to rinse it, and now I'm getting some tongs so that I can try to keep from touching that chicken as much as I can and keep my hands clean so I don't spread any kind of salmonella around my kitchen. So when I'm working with chicken, I usually use my dishwasher for sanding rinse later, and I have some bleach in a spray bottle that I use to kill anything. You can use vinegar, but I just prefer bleach. I'm an old-fashioned girl, and I like to go with the good old harsh chemical whenever I want to make sure that we're safe. And I just like bleach. And right here, I'm starting to dredge the chicken. I take it from the egg, the flour, and the milk mixture, and I put it into the flour. And I realize that I have not set up my third station, which is my panko crumbs. And so I'm going off to find that. That's how cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But when you're cooking, you got multiple things going. And so sometimes you forget one thing that you need, and you get right in the middle of something, you have to run and get it. And there I come back, I got the panko crumbs. And I'm going to get me a pan down, and we're going to add that to the dredge station. Okay, right here I'm showing you the dredge. I'm pointing to the egg, I'm pointing to the flour, I'm pointing to the panko. I'm actually just a little bit off camera getting the skillet on the gas stove oiled up and ready to go. And so we're about ready to start making some chicken here. It's gonna be delicious. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be delicious because we didn't eat it and it's all gone. Okay, what I'm doing right now is I'm starting to dredge. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take it from the egg, the milk, and the little bit of flour and move it into the flour mixture. And then, let's see if I do it right here so I can kind of let you guys follow along what I'm doing. Once I get it really good and coated with the flour, I'm going to shake some of that flour off, and I'm going to go back into that egg mixture again. And the reason I add a little flour to that egg mixture, it makes it like a glue. It makes it really hold on. And then I go back in the panko, so it's basically getting coated twice. But it makes a good extra crispy chicken. And I tell you, that chicken was so juicy. My husband, he was like, I was only going to eat one plate. He said, but that's so good, I got to go back and have some more. So he actually ate 2 of those big chicken breasts that night. He really enjoyed this meal. It's something that he really likes. Of course, we're Southern, so fried chicken's a thing. Fried chicken breast, fried biscuits, fried taters, you put it fried in the front of it, we's going to eat it down here in the South. It don't matter what it is. We'll fry it up and we'll eat it. Frog legs, you name it. I don't eat frog legs, but I thought I'd throw that in there because that's just kind of something that's, that most Southerners will eat. Alrighty, so that's what I'm doing. I'm a dredging, and I'm a dipping, and I'm getting things ready to go while that oil is heating up to fry. Now we done put this chicken down in that hot fryer. Ooh, look at that. That's a good hot oil. That's how you want it. You don't want the oil too hot because it will burn your crust and your chicken will be raw. So you just, I never use them, thermometers. I'm not saying they're bad. It's just that that's not the way I was taught to cook it. I was just taught to eyeball it, kind of know what you're doing. I would say that I cook those chicken breasts anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes on each side. And, you know, you just kind of know when things are done. And, but you can use it. You can use a thermometer. You can look up what the temperature is for a chicken breast. Like I said, I've got one. I just never really use it. I'm gonna be 51 on Saturday, and I just kind of been cooking this way ever since I was probably about 13, 14 years old. I can remember even being younger than that on my granny's step ladder up to the counter and the cooking. So just being a country cook is just knowing when something's ready and it's done. So look at this beautiful chicken frying up. It's gonna be delicious. Okay, here's something that I'm doing that a lot of people will know what you're doing when you're trying to make things go further in the house. It's towards the end of the week, and groceries are getting kind of low, so we're about ready to be out of milk. So I've taken a can of evaporated milk out of the cabinet, and I've put it into one of my pitchers, and so I'm adding 3 cans after I put that evaporated milk into that, and that's going to give me the milk I need tonight to make my biscuits, to finish off my mashed potatoes, and it's just a real good tip to know. And you know, you can buy one of those cans for a couple of dollars. I think they used to be, could go certain times a year and buy them things too for $1. But now I'm telling you, I think they're like $1.89 for a can of evaporated milk, but it makes you almost a half a gallon of milk, you know. And you can even make it thinner than that if you needed to go further. You can add more water to it. I just like mine a little on the rich side because I like that good, thick, richy taste that it puts into your, your mashed potatoes and your biscuits. So surprise, we had to go back and flip this chicken. It was time. So there we go. It stuck just a little bit right there. Just stuck just a little bit. Took just a little bit of the crust off. And I think that's basically where my pinchers. And I've got a pair of clean pinchers that I'm using to work with the chicken that's in the fryer. I got a whole different, I call them pinchers. Now y'all know, they're tongs, but in a southern home, them things is called pinchers because we pinch people with them. So now I'm back. I'm going to make some biscuits. And with these biscuits, I'm not going to roll them out. I'm going to do what's called a hand patting. I'm just going to add some flour, put an egg in there, put a little bit of milk. Because like I said, we're at the end of our grocery week. And we're running a little bit low on butter. A little bit low on some of the things that we need. So instead of putting butter and oil in there, I'm just going to add me an egg. A nice farm fresh egg in there from one of my ladies, and we're going to whisk that up, and then we're going to hand pat out some butter, some biscuits butter. I wanted butter on them biscuits, obviously, but I'm going to hand pat those biscuits out. We're going to put them in a pan, and we're going to put them in the oven, and they're going to be delicious. I like to end everything that I cook with, and it's going to be delicious. All right, I'll be back in just a minute with more dialogue. Y'all, ain't that chicken looking delicious? See how beautiful that chicken is? It's just looking absolutely delicious. And see, with those extra coatings, by doing that extra coating, you get a really good juicy piece of chicken breast. Because chicken breast is the #1 piece of chicken that will dry out on you in a New York minute. but you seal in all that juiciness, all that deliciousness, and it's just really, really, really good. It's a good way to cook chicken. It's gonna be delicious. Now I'm taking this chicken off, and I'm putting it in this little drainer thing. This is actually a little thing that goes into my microwave. Those of you who have followed me for a while, we have killed another microwave in this house, and Grandpa Harold had to go out one day and buy us a very nice microwave, and it's an air fryer, a baker. It does all kinds of stuff. And so it comes with this little pan that I'm going to be using, and I just thought it's a neat little thing. I just turn the air fryer pan up, use the rack for the air fryer, and I just strain my chicken or anything that I fry with it. Multitasking, multi-using. It's awesome. So now our potatoes are fork tender, and I brought them over on a towel, and we're going to work on them. I've added a little salt in there. We put a little pepper. I think I'm going to get out the mixer. That's what I'm doing. See me down there digging? I'm getting my mixer out from underneath the cabinet there. And I'm going to look for my beaters, and I'll be back. Well, I found my beater, so now we're going to mix this up, because to me, whenever you whip mashed potatoes, especially if you're using instant mashed potatoes, I will get that out in a minute. We'll say instant mashed taters, because that's really what my mouth wants to say, but I'm trying to be proper because I'm doing a professional voiceover here and I wanted it to sound good. But when you add the air to those instant mashed potatoes, it just does something. It just makes them so good and so fluffy, and I don't know, you just take that extra step. It don't take long. You can throw them beaters up in the dishwasher, or you can put them in the water and soak them. It's gonna be good. And I'm adding a little bit of butter to that, and that was my last bit of butter before we went and got groceries, and that was enough. It made it really good because, like I said, with that rich evaporated milk, and I'm adding the instant potatoes to it right now, that it gave it a richness, a really good richness. Alrighty, I'm going to finish making these. I'm sure I will be back with something to say, because that's just how I am. Okay, what I'm showing you now is that I'm not going to use those tongs anymore to take those and move those out when they're done. I'm fixing to do my cleaning, and I'm fixing to put all of my stuff in the sink to soak, and I'm going to not reuse those tongs. So you guys don't be worried about that. I'm not reusing those tongs. So see, now I'm just taking and kind of beating them off, and I'm going to put them over there and clean them. I like to clean as I go. I don't know if you guys do, but I mean, after you've done ate a meal and you've worked all day, or you've been busy all day, or you've ran kids all day, or you just didn't feel good, or maybe you just didn't do nothing all day, but you still don't want to do it. I like to do my cleaning as I go. So I'll usually get a workstation, clean it up, move on, get another workstation, and then move on. And so I'm done with the mashed potatoes. I put a lid on them. I'm getting a lid for the sweet peas. They're done. I've got them on the back of the stove. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm just going to put the lid on there. Mashed potatoes are done. The English peas are done. I got the last 2 pieces of chicken cooking. I'm just going to take that over there and get that all cleaned up. It's just what I like to do. Get them soaking, and then I got them in the dishwasher. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm washing my hands, but I wanted to show y'all something really quickly. You see this island here? I wanted this island from Hobby Lobby, and it was over $100. And right before they put out their Christmas tree, they put this on sale for $40-something. And girl, I got this thing, and it's got all my baking supplies in there, and that helped empty out my pantry so I could have more canned goods. Ain't that a blessing from the Lord? Time to check the biscuits. Let's see what they're doing. I'm changing it over to broil because it's time to brown them babies on the top. They're almost ready to come out. And you know what? We've just about made this supper together. Ain't that amazing? That's an amazing thing. Didn't take me very long, maybe a little over an hour to put this meal together for my family. Now, this ain't something that we eat every night. There's some nights we have cereal. Some nights we just have an omelet with some toast. But you know, my husband was wanting some fried chicken. And so I had some chicken breast in there, and I thought, you know, he's a good man. He works 3 jobs for us. And I thought, wait, I'm going to make him something. The world wants to make it beneath a woman to go in the kitchen and cook her family a meal. But I'm going to tell you something. That's a blessing right there. That's a blessing to be able to go in there, fry up some chicken, make some mashed potatoes, open up a couple cans of sweet peas, English peas, whatever you call them, make some biscuits, and put a smile on your kids and your husband's face. That's love. That's the love of God right there. That's being a servant. Also, I didn't show this in the previous videos whenever I was cooking the chicken, but I cover that chicken up with my lid to my fryer. Not for very long, but just to really concentrate that heat in there on that chicken long enough to make sure that it's getting cooked all the way through. I'd say for the 5 to 7 minutes that I cooked that chicken on either side, I probably put that lid on there for maybe about 1 minute to 2 minutes. Just to kind of concentrate that heat for just for a little bit. Hot biscuits. Hot biscuits. Fresh out of the oven. Okay. We are coming to a close on this. Look at there. We got our biscuits done. Our mashed potatoes are done. Our sweet peas are done. And we got that last piece of chicken frying. And it is about time to serve this dinner up to my family. And it's a good thing. And I thank God for it. And we always give Him praise and glory and honor for all the meals that we have in this house. And so thankful because there are so many who
y'all look at here. Let me turn this halo light right here. I am sweating up in this place. It's cool outside, so we've decided to cut the air off. But girl, and boys and girls, I am sweating and I am hot. But we have this meal complete. We have it done. So let me show you what we've got. We're gonna go ahead and cut that gravy off. But I made some milk gravy here. That'd be good over the chicken, over the mashed potatoes, over a biscuit. We got our good hot biscuits back here. We got our mashed potatoes right there, and what I did is I put a couple of whole potatoes in there. I peeled them, cleaned them, put them in there, did them with some butter and water. And then back here we have some peas, and I'm trying to turn the oven back on. I don't want that hot thing on. And y'all look at this delicious fried chicken. Don't that look good? Double dipped. Ain't that gonna be delicious for supper tonight? And somebody done left a Casey's cup up here, and I know who that is, because somebody likes Casey's tea. But anyway, we's about ready to have our meal. And I'm going to go sit in front of the fan because I am sweating. So I love you guys. Hope you enjoyed this. I hope to get in here as soon as I possibly can. Let's get back over here where the lighting's better. Hope to do this as soon again because I've missed being in the kitchen with you guys. So and like I said, I'm feeling better. The Lord's blessed me. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful, great night, and I love you. Until next time, I am Grandma Nene. God bless.